back on the winning track following a loss on Sunday to the Rochester Americans. Skipjacks had not lost at home prior to Sunday's game. Have to go all the way back to November the 18th before Baltimore was beaten here at the Civic Center. Tim Tukey will center a line with Dean DeFazio and Bob Giel. Greg Hotham and Marty McSorley on defense. Ace off at center. Puck is dropped. We're underway now in period number 1. Puck shot back into the Hershey Bears end. On the near boards, here's Dave Reed. Giel jamming up. Now McSorley keeps it alive. He sends one toward the net. Kicked out by the Bears. Now behind the net, Giel. In the far corner, Giel bumps. Now DeFazio over there. And DeFazio flips the puck back behind the net. And on the near boards, the Bears finally are able to clear the puck back into Skipjacks territory. McSorley back after it there. Opening moments of period number 1 from the Civic Center, and we have no score. Here's DeFazio. He'll deflect the puck into the Hershey end. And back behind the net, a battle for the puck, Mike Stuthers. And DeFazio at the point. Here comes Schmidt with a drive, and Ron Hextall kicked that out, and he deflects the puck up into the crowd. Sean, pretty good early pressure by the Skipjacks here in the first 48 seconds of play.
Looks like it, Tim. That looks like there's going to be a lot of action in this game. As you mentioned, the Skipjacks had a home winning streak snapped at 6 games after losing to Rochester on Sunday night. So they're going to look to get back on the winning ways here tonight against Hershey.
All right, Steve Gatzos is with the Skipjacks. I guess we failed to mention that Jim Hamilton was assigned to the Muskegon Lumberjacks of the International Hockey League, and Steve Gatzos is up in his place. Puck back at the point. Leto with a shot. And Hextall just got the glove on that one to knock it aside. And the Bears cleared to center with a puck. Tim Young tried to feed it right wing and over the line. Now we have an offside call. Dean Jenkins ahead of the line and an offside against the Hershey Bears. He played 58 seconds of this first period, and we have no score. Steve Gatzos, of course, played half the season last year with Baltimore, half with the Penguins, and also didn't play the last couple of weeks of the regular season or the playoffs. Gatzos has been playing rather well up in the International Hockey League with Muskegon, and he's on a line right now with Steve Carlson and Tom Rolston. Loose puck at center, picked up at the Baltimore blue line by Rolston. Rolston now spins and he starts up ice. Rolston now crosses the red line, stick handles over the line, gets around a man down the left wing, trying to cut him, but finally Pete Dineen wraps him up, knocks him off the puck. Now gets it back behind the net. Here's a centering pass in front, and Ron Hextall, goalie for the Bears, got his stick on it to knock it away. Hershey coming back. Here's a pass into the Baltimore end. Casey coming out of his net to steer the puck to the near corner. On it there is Carlson. He collides with Dean Jenkins, and the puck finally dug off the boards by Norm Schmidt. Here comes Schmidt to center. Over the line to Airy. In the slot to Schmidt. Right wing to Gatzos, and he couldn't get the stick on it. Steve Gatzos now with the puck. At the near point, Carlson will keep it in, working hard down the right wing boards. The slot to Gatzos, and he fanned on a shot. Great setup in front. Steve Carlson to Steve Gatzos. But Gatzos fanned on it. And now the Bears come back down the left side. Here's Ross Fitzpatrick, but again, Hershey is offside. We're going to get a whistle just outside the Skipjacks blue line.
Tim, the Skipjacks have had quite a few opportunities here early in this first period, but they just haven't managed to get the stick on the puck when it was loose in front of the Hershey net.
Well, Steve Gatzos had the best chance of the period so far. Steve Carlson just set him up beautifully in front, but he partially fanned on his shot, and we're still scoreless. From the draw, here's McDonnell clearing it up on the right side to Arto Yavanainen. Off his stick, picked up by Nevin Marquardt. He comes back into the Baltimore end. He's checked in the left wing circle by Yavanainen. Bears keep it in now. They forecheck. Now the puck finally comes back outside the line, picked up by Hannon. Hannon feeds Arian down the right side. Bob Ariel give chase into the Hershey end. Back behind the net. Checked by Frank Simonetti. Now Hannon digs it out. Here's Davey Hannon dropping it back off. Behind the net to Airy. Airy now on the far boards, holding it up. Back behind the net, there's Hannon with a puck. Here's Hannon now in the slot to Airy. Tried to poke it ahead for Yavanainen, but that's broken up by the Bears. Mike Stuthers and Hershey coming back. Here's a pass over the line for Al Hill. He'll deflect it left wing corner. Skipjacks end. McDonnell and Nevin Marquardt battle for the puck. Now Hill and Hannon collide near corner. A big jam up in the Skipjacks end. Now Hill and Hannon push and shove one another. And finally, Baltimore will come to center. Here's Arto Yavanainen, 2-on-2. He comes over the line, takes the heavy hit from Bobby Mormina, and is able to get the puck back behind the Hershey net. But the Bears will bring it out. Here's Dineen, and he'll just clear it back up ice. Puck lands in the penalty box right down below us. We're going to get a face-off. Back in Bears territory.
Tim, I had a chance this past week to do an appearance here in the Baltimore area, and accompanying me was Tom O'Regan and Bob Airy of the Skipjacks. Got an opportunity to meet these two guys. What fine gentlemen. Airy's from Canada, and Tom O'Regan's from the Boston area, and it's my first opportunity to get to see him play here in person.
Took a few minutes, I'm sure, to get adjusted to Tommy's Boston accent. He takes quite a ribbing from the team, I'll tell you, on that number. But he's a fine player, and he's coming on of late for the Skipjacks. As Sasser steps to center, passes left wing to Bork. It's off his skate. Bork gives chase now behind the Hershey net. In the near corner, cutting in deep, McSorley will keep it in. Dropping it back behind the net. Sasser now jams up with Pete Dineen. Puck is still loose. Sasser trying to dig it out. Regan in there. Now Dineen will tie it up and on the boards. We'll get a face-off again in Bears territory. We played 3 minutes and 45 seconds here, period number 1. The Skipjacks nothing and the Hershey Bears nothing. Baltimore off tomorrow, but back in action Thursday in St. Catharines. Friday night in Rochester then. A few days off for Christmas vacation. Back in action Wednesday, December the 26th at St. Catharines. We'll have all those games for you right here on the Maryland News Network. Puck back at the point. McSorley drives one toward the net. That went through traffic and just wide. Now back behind the net. Here's Steve Smith with a pass to Joe Patterson. Patterson now in his own zone. Steps to center. Try to feed it left wing for Bergen, but again, the Bears are offside. And Jean Landetta, Hershey appears a bit sluggish here. They're not making quite a few mistakes and can't seem to come across the Baltimore line with any kind of authority.
Well, most of the action has been taking place in the Bears zone, and the Bears haven't been able to quite pass the puck too crisply. A lot of, as you mentioned before on the shot, a lot of fanning on the puck, not quite crisp passing. And the puck hasn't been in front of the net too often, so they're going to have to change what they're doing.
All right, Jeff Courtnall again comes across the Baltimore blue line, but again the Bears are offside.
Bears have been offside 3 times now, Tim, and we've only played 4 minutes and 11 seconds.
Jean playing 2 years with the Philadelphia Stars, of course. In Philadelphia, they've got themselves quite a hockey team with the Flyers.
Well, they sure do, Tim. Philadelphia's crazy about their Flyers, and they have every right to be. They're a fine hockey team.
All right, here come the Skipjacks back into the Hershey end. Here's Giel spinning away from Bill Campbell. Now behind the net, Tookie digs it out. Tookie now cutting in front, a shot to DeFazio. What a save by Hextall. Oh, brother. He robs Dean DeFazio in front. And Hershey now finally coming across the line. Court now with a puck. In the near corner to Scott McClellan. Big jam up near corner. Skipjacks in. The whistle blows. Stopping the clock here with 15:19 to go in the first period. And we'll get a face-off in Skipjacks territory. No score. 15:19 to play here in period number 1. You're listening to Skipjacks Hockey on the Maryland News Network. We're back at the Baltimore Civic Center. Play deep now in the Baltimore end at the near point. Here's Norm Schmidt. He couldn't keep the puck in. And it's all the way back to center. Picked up by Steve Smith. Over the line, down the left wing. His shot deflected up into the crowd. And we'll get a face-off at the top of the left wing circle in Baltimore territory. Steve Smith had a pair of goals in the Bears' last visit here to Baltimore on December the 5th. The Jacks were trailing 3-0, came from behind to win the hockey game 4-3. That's one of the games that may have cost Gary Innes his job as coach of Hershey.
Well, as you mentioned, he did drop 10 games there. Well, he lost 9 and tied 1. They had a horrendous streak there, and they had to make a change.
From the draw, picked up by McDonnell. He skates to center. Feeding it in for Carlson. They'll chase the puck now in the near corner. Hextall way out of his net. Bounces it off the board to the line and outside the line. It's back to center. It'll roll all the way back behind the Baltimore net. Picked up by McDonnell. He's hit by Jenkins behind the Skipjacks net, but McDonnell recovers. And Schmidt sends it up on the right side for Gatzos. Out of his reach and back to center. Here's Tom Ralston over the Baltimore line. Top of the left wing circle. Ralston in the slot. Here's Gatzos with a puck. Gatzos now in the far corner. at the near point to McSorley. And he'll send the puck back behind the net. Carlson to Rolston. Rolston spinning away. Now backhands one toward the net. And Hextall got the stick on it to knock it away. All right, Gatsos now. The near boards to Carlson. Skipjacks, a lot of pressure here. There, Carlson trying to get it back at the point. Couldn't do it. Puck to center. Jenkins now over the Baltimore line. One man to beat Hoffman. He couldn't get around Hoffman. He was spilled, and the Jacks will come back. Pass up ice. Here's Carlson. Couldn't grab the bouncing puck at the Hershey blue line. Stothers grabs it. Comes right back. Feeds it in down the left wing with the puck up into the crowd. He was feeding it down the left side for Dean Jenkins. And again, a whistle. And we're going to face it off at the red line in the neutral zone. We're down to 13:47 left here in period number 1. Baltimore nothing and Hershey nothing.
Tim, it's very tough to score on the Skipjacks. They've only allowed 90 goals so far this season, and that is the lowest amount allowed by any team in the league.
The club has played terrific defense, no doubt about it. Offense has been a little bit of a concern. The Skipjacks are right about in the middle of the pack in goals scored around the league, but Baltimore's teams are always known for being high scoring.
Yeah, well.
But Gene Briaco's philosophy, play good defense and the offense will eventually come, and that's what we're going to be banking on this season as Hannon steps to center. Feeding it down the left side to Bob Erie. Pass is broken up, puck comes back at the point. Here's Hotham closing in, wrist shot right in front, and Erie just tipped it wide. Good chance for the Skipjacks there as Erie tried to feed it in front to Erie, and he tried to tip it by Hextall, and it just was deflected wide. All right, Skipjacks now holding the puck in. Here's McSorley right down the slot. Loose puck now in front of the Hershey net. Here is Javanainen trying to grab a hold of the bouncing puck in the left wing circle to the Bears zone, but we get a stoppage of play here. Whistle. Goalie Ron Hextall tried to swipe the puck out of the zone there with his stick way above his shoulders. And Andre Duhamel will blow the whistle and again a face-off here in Bears territory.
Speaking about goalies, Tim, all three of the Skipjacks goaltenders are ranked in the AHL top 10. In fact, they got the number 1 and number 2 man, and third is ranked 7, so that's very outstanding for one team to have 3 goalies ranked in the top 10.
I'll tell you, the goaltending's been outstanding. Well, when you have goaltenders like John Casey, who's just been playing great this season, and also a Brian Ford, who was the best goalie in the American Hockey League last season, a first-team All-Star, and he was in the International League prior to being obtained in a trade by the Penguins. And back up here, and of course, Michel Dion, who was the Penguins Player of the Year in '82 and also started the National Hockey League All-Star game for the Wales Conference. And you can't get much better than that. Here's Javanainen over the line. Check from behind by Nevin Marquardt. Now Hannon comes in down the slot. Here's Hannon moving right in. Hannon a backhander right in the goal mouth. And Hextall will slide down to make the save. And he hangs on for the faceoff. Now Ron Hextall, one of the rookies here in the Hershey Bears club. Didn't like the way Bob Erie was pounding away at him in front, as Erie took a poke of that loose puck after Davey Hannon had cut toward the net and was trying to backhand the puck by Ron Hextall.
Tim, Dave Hannon is on a 9-game point scoring streak here. Let's see if he can make it to 10 tonight.
Hi, Tommy O'Regan on the ice with Phil Bork on the left side and Grant Sasser on the right side. We're going to call that line right now the American Connection. All 3 American players. Sasser from Portland, Oregon. Tommy O'Regan from Boston, Massachusetts. And Phil Bork from Chelmsford, Massachusetts. From the draw, puck behind the Hershey net. Bears will slowly bring it out. Here is Steve Smith. Pass ahead for Paul Gay. He'll deflect the puck in the Skipjacks end, but John Casey comes out of his net and clears it all the way back to center. Now Gay, checked by Phil Bork in front of the Baltimore bench. Pass ahead for O'Regan, stolen away by Hershey. Here comes Bergen, tried to feed the puck on the left wing to Joe Patterson, stolen away by Sasser. Sasser now with a full head of steam over the line. His quick wrist shot right down the slot. And Hextall got the shoulder in front of that shot by Grant Sasser. As the Bears break back, here's Todd Bergen streaking across the Baltimore line. Holds it up, tried to center one for Patterson, broken up. And now the Jacks come back 2-on-2. Here's Patterson. Trying to hold off Grant Sasser. Sasser carries the mail. Heads to the near corner, bumped off the puck by Steve Smith. And Hershey comes back and they take over. Patterson, slap shot from center. Pad save by Casey. And the loose puck over to Tukey. He'll just drop it back to Schmidt. Schmidt's pass ahead for Bob Guillot. Hops over his stick. It'll go back into the Hershey end. Bill Campbell will touch up. And we're going to get an icing call here against the Bears. Check it against the Skipjacks. We'll bring that face-off back into Baltimore territory. With 11:31 to play here in the first period, while the Skipjacks have dominated play here in the first stanza, they were able to get a puck past Ron Hextall, and we're tied at 0.
Well, I think this coaching change for Hershey may have shown to be indicative. They lost their last game, a tough one, just by 1 goal, and here tonight are showing play very well against a tough Skipjack team.
The voice calling color commentary for us tonight, Sean Landeta, the fine punter for the Baltimore Stars of the USFL, and we'll be talking a little football between periods with Sean Landeta about the exciting upcoming season here in Baltimore. Look out, here come the Bears, a chance in front, and Casey dives to the ice. Fitzpatrick in there. And now we get some pushing and shoving with Marty McSorley, Dean Jenkins, and Ross Fitzpatrick. Jean, when the opposing player is right in front of your goaltender, you only have one alternative, and that's move him out of there any way possible.
You've got to do that. You've got to do that, Tim. That's very similar in pro football. When you have an opposing player that's in your quarterback's face, there's only one thing you got to do. They take the same alternative, and that's get him out of there.
All right, the Skipjacks have the Hannon, Yavanainen, and Airy line on the ice. That line has been most productive of late. Tim Young, the veteran center, on the ice now for Hershey. Young facing it off with Hannon. To the right of Casey. Puck is dropped, and Hannon will win it over to McSorley. He'll spin away from a check. And now drop it back behind his own net to McDonnell. Left wing pass to Airy. He'll start the rush for the Jacks at the red line. He clears it on into the Hershey end. Back behind the net, Hextall. Stopping it and leaving it for Campbell. Now the Bears being bottled up at the moment. Pass up on the left side, deflected by Tim Young, and it's all the way back into the Skipjacks' end. Here's Joe McDonnell, and he's been a pleasant surprise for Baltimore. 28 points. He is the Skipjacks' leading scorer. McDonnell passes it up the ice to Hannon. Right wing to Airy. He'll cross the blue line and chase the puck now back behind the Hershey net. In the far corner, here is Mike Stothers spinning away from Hannon. Pass up the ice for Tim Young. Goes by him. It'll be all the way down the ice. Back after it, Marty McSorley. He'll touch it. And that'll give us an icing call against Hershey. With 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in period number 1, we'll drop the puck back in Bears territory.
Tim, on that last drive down by the Skipjacks, Joe Patterson of the Hershey Bears took a shot from Bob Airy, and I saw him limp off the ice. He looks like he's being attended to over on the Bears bench. We'll be looking for him to make an appearance back. Joe Patterson, a fine player for the Hershey Bears.
Patterson, a little bit of a slow start, but he has been able to score in the past. He has 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points in 20 games thus far for the Bears. All right, Tookie on the ice now with DeFazio and Giel. McSorley and McDonnell are paired off at the points. It's been our final home game here at the Civic Center until Friday night, December the 28th, I believe.
That's a Colts night here, Tim.
That's right, against the Binghamton Waiters. You'll be on hand. Face-off time 7:30. It'll be a Colts Remembered night. Stick around, Sean. We'll have a Stars Remembered night, I'm sure, in the future, about 10 years from now.
Let's hope so, Tim.
Hershey with the puck now in their own zone. Here's Al Hill trying to bring it out. Passing it over to Smith. Smith now head manning it over the line to McClellan, but he was checked. Now he shoots it back in, but again, Hershey offside. I'd like to have a chocolate bar for every time they were offside tonight.
I tell you, Tim, I'm starting to wonder if that is part of their strategy. Never do you want to penalize yourself so many times, but for whatever it's worth, it's working for the Hershey Bears.
And Dean Jenkins is going to be heading off the ice here. Apparently he was shaken up by one of the Skipjacks. And he's limping and heading off the ice. He may have said something as he went across the Skipjacks bench. Jenkins, a hard-nosed player. He's got 60 penalty minutes in 26 games this season, so he's to the locker room now. Property of the Boston Bruins as McDonnell feeds it over the line to Bobby Giel, broken up by the Bears, and now it's out to center. Here's Giel now. He'll hustle right back over the line. Try to give it left wing to Tookie, but broken up again by Hershey. Puck back at the Skipjacks blue line. Tookie now, right wing pass to Giel. Here comes Giel, motors over the line. Giel down the right side, holding it up now behind the net. Here's Giel at the point to McDonnell. Wrist shot toward the net, save in front by Hextall. Far corner to Fazio battling with Giel. And Al Hill and Pete Dineen battle for the puck. Good play, hustle by DeFazio. He's held up from behind, no penalty called. Al Hill had the wraps on DeFazio, but no penalty. And the Bears take over, back behind the net. That's Pete Dineen with the puck. The Bears captain. Pass up ahead to Al Hill. He is checked at his own blue line by McDonnell. Now Mormina will give it back to Hill. He'll slap it in from just outside the Skipjacks blue line, and Casey able to make the save. And the puck cleared and deflected back to center. 9:01 left here in period number 1. We have no score. Skipjacks have had the majority of the scoring opportunities. I don't think Hershey has 3 shots on goal yet here in the hockey game. Headman pass up the ice. Here is Paul Gay over the line again. Hershey offside. And I'll tell you, they just look terrible here tonight.
Again, Tim, they're looking terrible, but it kind of makes you wonder if they're doing this on purpose. You've mentioned that Baltimore's had all the opportunities, and Hershey, I believe, has only had 2 official shots on goal. But nevertheless, it's 0-0.
I'll tell you, they just look very much disorganized out there thus far tonight. All right, Steve Carlson, Steve Gatzos, and Tom Rolston. Up the ice. Here's Leto. He'll clear the puck back behind the Hershey net. Back after Stuthers. Now gives it to Carlson in front to Gatzos. Couldn't get the shot away. Pass on the off wing, and Gatzos couldn't get turned around. Now Carlson steals it again at center. Here's Carlson over the line. He's tripped up at the blue line, and no penalty called by Andre Duhamel. At the far point, Pateri Leto shovels it down the right side. Rolston a shot. And his quick wrist shot goes toward the net, and Hextall will cover up at the side of the Hershey net for a face-off.
Once again, Tim, 2 or 3 quick opportunities there for the Jacks, but they couldn't capitalize on any one of them.
Good wrist shot there by Tom Rolston. He was set up in front, and Hextall made the save. Hextall has played in 2 games. He has won 1 and lost 1. He has a 4.50 goals against average for the Bears. Now being coached on an interim basis by Frank Mathers. He has over 800 wins as a coach for the Hershey Bears in his long-time association with Hershey as a player, coach, general manager, and executive vice president.
Incredible record, Tim.
Carlson and Tim Young for the face-off, and Young will win it back behind his own net. Bears bounce it off the boards and get it outside the line and back to center. Leto will pick it up. Leto now around the far boards, gave the puck to Young, checked by Rolston. Puck is still loose and on the far boards. It is poked free, dug out by the Bears. Young couldn't get it, and finally Hawthorne will poke it to center. In the neutral zone, Smith bounces it off the boards. He's checked. Now it's picked up by Leto. Leto will hustle over the line, down the slot, wrist shot, and that's deflected on the way to the net and up into the crowd. Leto had the right idea, came down the slot with that loose puck. Decided to put a wrister away, but it hit one of the Bears in front and deflects up into the crowd. Face off again in Bears territory at the top of the left wing circle. Skipjacks will send a new pair of defensemen on the ice. It'll be Norm Schmidt and Joe McDonnell. Tommy O'Regan, Phil Bork, and Grant Sasser up front for the Skipjacks. O'Regan at the point to McDonnell. Near point to Schmidt. Winding up, firing one. Save in front, and the rebound. Bork fanned on it. Rebound went right to him. Bork couldn't get a hold of it. Now Bork with a puck at center. Shoots it in down the right side. Here's Phil Bork now with a puck. Cutting in his backhander. Deflected off one of the Bears. And again, up into the crowd. We're going to face it off in the right wing circle of Hershey territory. 7:28 to go here in this first period of play. Baltimore nothing and Hershey nothing. We're going to pause now for station identification. You're listening to Skipjacks Hockey on the Maryland News Network. Tim Donnelly back with you at the Baltimore Civic Center along with our guest color commentator tonight. A pleasure to have Sean Landetta, the Baltimore Stars. A very fine punter in our broadcast booth as the Bears break over the line. Here is Courtnall with a puck. Jeff Courtnall at the Hershey blue line fires it back behind the net. Casey way out of his net, steers it up the boards, kept in by Mike Stuthers, and now it hops over his stick. And he has to go back after it to center. Here's Al Hill with a puck at his own blue line. He'll drop it off to Campbell. Now the Bears actually retreating, trying to get some skating room. Stuthers finally starts to center. Crosses the red line, fires it in, but offside against Hershey again. As Al Hill was a stride ahead of the play. Going across the Jacks blue line, the face-off to come right at center red.
Tim, well, it's no surprise to see not too many goals being scored here tonight with the Jacks giving up the fewest amount of goals. It is also no surprise to see the Jacks quite candidly out-shooting the Hershey Bears. The Jacks have outshot their opponents in 23 of 29 games so far this season.
Just would like to see a few more goals, but hopefully that's going to come. Look out, down the slot. Here's a shot by Jeff Courtnall. And Casey able to make the save. As Courtnall picked up a loose puck, came right down in, shot one from 25 feet. Casey able to make the stop. You know, John Casey, what an outstanding season he's had with Baltimore. Just out of the clear blue sky, there wasn't much goaltending depth in the Penguins organization, and Gene Ubriaco needed a goaltender. He called his old friend Lou Nanne, the general manager of the Minnesota North Stars, and they arranged to have Casey come here. Casey was not drafted, signed as a free agent. The North Stars really didn't know much about him or what he could do, and he's come to the Skipjacks and just played some brilliant hockey. 10-2-2 record at 2.44 goals against average in the American Hockey League, and that's actually second best overall, but in goalies who have played at least 10 games, tops in the American Hockey League.
It's very rare when you see a free agent make an appearance and come on as strong as this man has. He's done the job, Tim.
Hershey with a puck. Stothers now dropping it back to his own blue line to Bill Campbell. As Campbell now will look for some standing room. Now he just backhands it right back into the Skipjacks end. And Marty McSorley back after it. Here's McSorley now cranking it up in his own zone. Feeding it up to center ice. Pass just out of the reach of Yavanainen. And back to center. As McSorley runs into Nevin Markwart. High puck in the Baltimore end. Here's Greg Hotham behind his net. Steers it up the near boards. Now the puck takes a crazy bounce and bounces up into the crowd. And we're going to face it off now in Skipjacks territory. We're down to 5:53 to go in the first period. Skipjacks nothing, the Bears nothing. You're listening to Skipjacks Hockey on the Maryland News Network. He never saw it. We are back at the Civic Center. Loose puck in front of the Baltimore net, and finally gathered away by Tom Rolston. Ahead to Carlson. Right wing to Gatsos. Gatsos over the line, beating it down the slot for Carlson. Couldn't get to it. Dineen had him tied up. On the near boards, they fight for the puck. Nevin Markwart and Steve Gatsos will tie it up near corner. Hershey end. And we'll get a face-off now. Again in the Bears zone with 5:20 left here in period number one.
Tim, you know, it's amazing. You mentioned that the Penguins organization was worried about their goaltending. They come up with a guy like John Casey who does an outstanding job and are able to boast that they can keep a Michel Dion in the wings. You're talking about a man who was an NHL All-Star just 2 years ago.
That's right, and also Brian Ford, as we mentioned, who was the top goalie in the American Hockey League last season, and he is not dressing for the game tonight. All right, Carlson facing it off with Todd Bergen, right wing circle, Hershey in. Puck back behind the net, Stothers now. We'll swing the puck the other way. Here is Simonetti trying to get it out, but forechecking is Carlson. Now Gatsos steals. Here's Gatsos moving into Rolston, a shot. He shoots and scores. Steve Gatsos just passed the puck over to Tom Rolston in front. And he buried it behind goalie Ron Hextall for Tommy Rolston, his 9th goal of the season. And the Skipjacks draw first blood. It's 1-0 Baltimore.
Tim, it had to come. Rolston's had a few shots, as had the other Skipjacks frontliners, and they haven't managed to get one in, but this time he did. Jacks are up 1-0 with 5:08 left in period number one.
Good play that time by Steve Gatsos and also by Steve Carlson to keep that puck in the Hershey Bear end. And Baltimore finally capitalizes on it. And Rolston will get the goal. 1-0 Skipjacks. Patterson to center, trying to come across the Baltimore line, but Schmidt ties him up. And it's back into the neutral zone. Here's Schmidt with a puck now over to Tim Tukey, coming back 2-on-2 with Giel. Here's Tukey down the left side. He's tripped up. No penalty called. Puck behind the net. Giel collides. Now DeFazio in there. Now DeFazio with a puck in the near corner, but a hand pass called against Bobby Giel. And we'll get a face-off again in Bears territory. Scoring play, Tom Rolston getting his 9th goal of the season from Steve Gatsos and Steve Carlson at 14:52 of the first period. 1-0 Skipjacks. And again, Sean, good hard work by Gatsos and Carlson, and Ralston finished off the play.
Gatsos was a little bit off balance when he had to make that pass, but nevertheless made the pass necessary for Tom Ralston to put it in the net.
And he buried it.
Yes, he did.
Like treasure. Puck at center. Picked up by the Bears. Here is Frank Simonetti. Hustles over the line. Tried to feed the puck in front to Patterson, but the pass was out of his reach, and Schmidt will clear it back to the neutral zone. Fired right back in again. And we're going to get a whistle and a face-off again in Jack's territory. Leto knocked the puck down with a stick above his shoulder. So we get the whistle and a face-off in Baltimore territory. Only one other game going on tonight in the American Hockey League, Maine at Fredericton. The Skipjacks with a win tonight can go 4 points ahead of Springfield for 4th place in the American Hockey League Southern Division. They can also pull within 5 of 2nd place Rochester with a win. Off the draw, puck back at the point. Smith's shot blocked on the way to the net. Now it's back at the near point again. Smith the shot. It bounces through traffic, goes right on net, and Casey sticks it aside. Down the far corner, Leto. Can he get it out? He does. Pass up ahead to Bob Gio coming out of his zone, but just ahead of Gio, and the loose puck will roll back into Hershey territory. Now DeFazio will try to bring it back in, but an offside call against the Jacks. The face-off outside the Hershey Bear blue line.
You know, Tim, the Jacks have scored first in 19 of 29 games, and in the games they've done that, they've gone 13, 2, and 4. So if that's any indication, it looks good for the Jacks here tonight.
The writing could be on the wall. We hope so. All right, the Stars and Stripes line on the ice. Tom O'Regan, Grant Sasser, and Phil Bork. And the Bears will have the puck at center. They'll clear it back into the Skipjacks end. On the far boards, here's McDonnell. Bounces it off the boards and back to center. Loose puck picked up by McSorley. Ahead for O'Regan. Can he get the puck in the zone? No, he can't. Picked up by McSorley now off the boards. He'll stick handled across the Bear line. Down the slot. Shot knocked down by Hextall. McSorley got the lumber on it. Hard shot from 50 feet, but Hextall able to get the blocker on it to knock it away. And the Bears fire it to center. In the neutral zone, Sasser gave it up momentarily, but now Bork collects it and shoots it right back behind the Hershey net. Smith now with the puck. They rig it up on the left side for McClellan. Now kept in at the point by McDonnell. He'll make a shifty move and shoot it right back behind the Hershey net. Here with the puck is O'Regan. Tried to center one, but he fanned on his centering pass. Now Sasser with the puck, cutting in. His backhander blocked in front by Deneen, and a beauty. And the Bears fire it off the boards and back down the ice. Good play by Sasser. Had a chance to get a goal as he cut toward the net, but a good defensive play by Pete Deneen. Here's McDonnell skating across the red line and now clearing the puck into the Hershey end. Picked up by Campbell. Left wing to Marquardt. Over the line to Hill. Hill, right wing pass. Sent behind the net by Bobby Mormina. Loose puck behind the Baltimore net. Picked up now by Hannon. He'll just backhand it all the way back into Hershey territory. 2:23 to go here in period number 1. It is Baltimore 1 and Hershey nothing. The goal by Tom Ralston is 9th of the season.
Tim, that goal by Ralston has extended his streak to 7 games now where he's had a point.
He's finally getting in the groove. He had a very slow start, but now right back into the flow of things. Schmidt will stick handle across the line and drop one to the side of the Hershey net. Now Javanainen could not hold the puck in, and it's back to the Skipjacks blue line. Norm Schmidt is on it there. Pass ahead to Hannon. He spins and turns and comes over the line. Right wing to Javanainen. In the slot to Airy. Airy tried to poke one toward the net, couldn't get the shot away, and the Bears take over. Al Hill comes back with Campbell, 2-on-2 over the line, but Campbell overskated the puck. And it's out to center to Javanainen. Now to Hannon. He'll bounce it off the boards and all the way back behind the Hershey Bears net it goes. As the Skipjacks and Bears will both change on the fly here with 1:29 to play in the first period. All right, puck knocked down at center ice by McSorley. McSorley now ahead to Carlson over the line. Good shifty move to get around Stothers. Here's Carlson down the right side. Back at the point to McSorley. His shot deflected right toward the net through a maze of players and wide. Ralston now drops it back behind the net. It's clear to the line, but not out. Leto keeps it in momentarily, but now the Bears will bring it out. Pass up ahead to Reed. One man to beat McSorley. Reed over the line now, cutting toward the Baltimore net. Couldn't get the shot away as McSorley rode him off the puck. And Baltimore bounces it off the boards and back to center. Last minute of play here in the first period. Skipjacks with the lead, 1-0. Hershey with the puck now at their own zone to center. This is Denis, and he'll whip it into the Skipjacks end. It rolls around the boards. On the near corner, here's Gatsos battling for it. Trying to get it out of the zone. He's checked. Look out. Here's Courtnall with the puck in the left wing circle. His shot. That missed the net. Deflected by Leto. Courtnall behind the Baltimore net. Tried to stuff it in front, but Rolston stopped that. Now Carlson gives it off to Rolston. 26 seconds to go. Right wing to Gatsos. Here's Gatsos motoring over the line. Trying to get around his man, but Smith tied him off the puck. It comes at the near point to Schmidt, and he cannot hold it in. Taken by Bergen. Bergen's pass. Look out over the line to Courtnall. We're going to get a penalty here against Peter Leto as he got the number on Courtnall and hooked him. Pulled him down from behind. We'll get our first power play opportunity of the hockey game. And it's going to go to the Hershey Bears.
It's been penalty-free here, Tim, tonight. This penalty with only 10 seconds remaining in the first period is the first one of the evening for either team.
So Leto will get the gate. I think he took a pretty good penalty because Courtnall was really steaming in down the left side and had a good opportunity to score that time.
I agree with that, Tim.
Leto, 2 minutes for hooking at 19:50 of period number 1. So the Skipjacks will try to kill off this Bears power play. Only 10 seconds left in the first period, so if the Bears do not score here, this one will carry into period number 2. Penalty killers for the Skipjacks, Dave Hannon and Tommy O'Regan. All right, Tim Young getting it back at the point. Stothers couldn't hold it in, down to 5 seconds left. Now Campbell to Stothers, 3 seconds. He'll fire a long shot, blocked on the way to the net by McSorley, and that'll do it. Period number 1 has come to a close here. And after 1 period of play from the Civic Center, our score, Todd Bergen, right wing circle, Hershey in. Puck back behind the net, Stothers now. We'll swing the puck the other way. Here is Simonetti trying to get it out, but forechecking is Carlson. Now Gatsos steals. Here's Gatsos moving into Rolston. A shot. He shoots and scores. Steve Gatsos just passed the puck over to Tom Rolston in front, and he buried it behind goalie Ron Hex. Certainly tell us a bit about the euphoria that has taken over now that the Stars have moved from Philadelphia to Baltimore. I know a lot of personal appearances have been involved, but certainly for a fellow homegrown here in Baltimore, graduating from Loch Raven High School, playing football at Towson State University, that's got to be a terrific break for you.
Yes, it is, Tim. As you mentioned, I did grow up in this area, and I know what a fine football area it is. They have great fans here, great people. They deserve a winning team and a winning franchise, and I think us, the Baltimore Stars, can provide them with that. The last 2 years we've played 41 games and have managed to win 35 of them. So, you know, there's no question that we are a winning team when we take the field. And I think the whole thing, when you think about it, is when you go out to support the home team, it's nice to see them win. And unfortunately, the fans of Baltimore haven't had a chance to do that in the last few years. So we hope we can provide them with that opportunity.
Well, we'll certainly be down there watching you this year, that's for sure. We're looking forward to it. It's all going to be starting, I guess, the end of February down at College Park.
That's correct, Tim. Look forward to seeing you there.
All right, we're just about set for a second period face-off. The puck is dropped. We're underway now in period number 2 from the Civic Center. Remember now, the Bears have the power play as Peter Leto is in the penalty box for the next minute 35 seconds. Puck back behind the Hershey net. And with it there is Mike Stothers. Stothers now slowly skating out of his own zone as the Bears come up on the power play. Pass to Tim Young. He'll deflect it in left wing corner. Baltimore end. McSorley off the boards. Just banks it off the glass and all the way down the ice. Hershey not able to get set up here on the power play as Campbell goes back behind his own net. Here is Bill Campbell now with the puck. Skating through center ice. Now fires it in. It's back behind the Skipjacks net. Casey stops it there. From McSorley to Hannon. Hannon now wings it back the other way. McSorley up the far boards. Can he get it out? No, he can't. Kept in a good defensive play, but now finally Hannon will grab the puck and get it outside the line and back to center. It's back at the Hershey blue line. 44 seconds left on the penalty to Peter Leto. Here's Young now, hustling across the Skipjacks line. Top of the left wing circle. Young now on the far boards. Far points to Stothers. Far boards to Young. Try to get it back to Stothers. Checked now by McSorley. Young able to get it back. Young now on the far board, still holding it up. Now cutting toward the net. His quick wrist shots deflected on the way to the net. And the loose puck comes right to Davey Hannon. He will find the opening and shoot it back to center. Stothers now clears it in right wing corner. Baltimore in. On the near boards, Courtnall tried to hold it in. Couldn't do it. Hannon grabs it and shoots it down the ice. Just 9 seconds left on the penalty. The Bears only have 1 shot on goal. Now the puck stolen at center ice by Borky. Wheels right back into the Hershey end. His shot from a deep angle down the left wing. And Hextall made the save. Back behind the net now, O'Regan after it. Here's O'Regan in the near corner. He is checked. Leto is back on. We're back at equal strength. Skipjacks have killed off the Bears' power play. Here comes Bobby Mormina. He fires one in down the right side from a sharp angle. Casey makes the save. Hotham bangs it off the boards back to the Hershey blue line. Jean, the Skipjacks were just about perfect on their penalty-killing effort as the Bears got absolutely nothing going on their power play.
You're right, Tim. The Bears really didn't get anywhere near to putting the puck in the net against John Casey. He had a save or two, but as you mentioned, they really didn't get anything going. Serious.
Hershey with a puck now. Here's Mormina giving it right to Sasser. Sasser now over the line. Down the right wing, now cutting toward the net. Couldn't stuff it in front. Sasser maintains possession. Now he trips and falls, loses the puck, and it's picked up by Smith. Now to Al Hill into the Skipjack zone. Here's Hill. Left wing circle to Mormina. In front there was Nevin Marquardt, but he couldn't get his stick on it. Casey poked it away. And now O'Regan will backhand the puck back into Bears territory. We played a fast 3 minutes here of the second period. 1-0 Baltimore. With the puck, here comes Joe Patterson, slapping it in from center ice. Stick save by Casey. He had no trouble with that one. And the rebound cleared away to center. Here comes Hannon with Yavanainen trailing. Hannon now over the line. At the point to Schmidt. He winds up, fires one. Didn't get a good shot away. Seemed to stumble as he went to take that shot. And now the Bears break back. Here's a pass on the left wing for Patterson. It rolls by his stick and back behind the Baltimore net. On the near north, here's Paul Gay with a puck to Bergen. Tried to center one in front. He fanned on that centering pass. They jam up and on the near boards, and Hannon will dig it out. Here comes Hannon to center. Hannon now over the line, dropping it back to Erie. Here's Bob Erie with a puck, cutting toward the net, trying to put a shot on the net, and couldn't do it. Now the near point, Leto with a shot. That's blocked on the way to the net. Now Bergen will pick it up at center. Down the left wing, his shot from 40 feet. McSorley got in front of that to knock it away. All right, they battle for the puck in the near corner. Puck taken by Hannon up the near boards to Erie. Can he get it out? No. Kept in by Simonetti. Simonetti fighting for the puck and on the near boards. And on with Bob Erie. They're still jamming up. Patterson is in there now. Referee will not blow the whistle. Puck now comes free. Here is Simonetti in the near corner. Cutting toward the Baltimore net. Far point Smith. Winds up and fires one. That's blocked by Yavanainen in front. Now Court now with a puck. Try to get it back at the point. Couldn't do it. Puck deep in the Baltimore end. Hershey Bears with pressure. Now Patterson to Courtnall. Tried to move toward the net, but he lost the puck. Now Yavanainen with it. It's still loose in the far corner. Now McSorley finally looks to bring it out, and finally does so. Just clears it back up ice. That puck looked to be glued to the left wing corner of the Skipjacks end.
I didn't think it'd ever get out of there, Tim.
All right, Bergen feeding it on the right side to Courtnall. Trying to split the Baltimore defense, but Rolston tied him up. On the far boards, here's Gatsos. He'll swing it back the other way. Here's Courtnall intercepting it. It comes in the top of the circle to Fitzpatrick, and he'll keep it in. Back behind the net to Courtnall. Bumped by Leto. Puck picked up by Tim Young. Near point to Deneen. Firing it toward the net. It's right on, and Casey will glove it as he drops to his knees to make the save.
It's a fine save by John Casey. There was some traffic in front of the net which obstructed his view.
Top line on the ice that time. Sean with Tim Young centering Ross Fitzpatrick and Jeff Courtnall. Now McClellan coming on to replace Courtnall, but a lot of good offensive punch on that line right now for Coach Frank Mathers.
I'll tell you, Tim, Hershey seems to be more on the offensive here in the second period. Although we've only played 5 minutes and 7 seconds of it, they seem to be down in the Skipjacks end a little bit more than they were in the first period.
They seem to have their legs here a bit better in this second period of play. From the faceoff, Jacks will bring it out. Here's Carlson, right wing to Gatsos. Gatsos over the line, lost the puck, and now Hershey will gather it in. Here is McClellan. He'll backhand one into the near corner of the Skipjacks end, but Rolston hustling back will get it. Up to Carlson. He is tripped up. No penalty by Andre Duhamel. Finally a whistle, and the puck is caught beneath Steve Carlson, and he will take a long, hard look at referee Andre Duhamel. Should have been a penalty there against the Bears, no question about it.
He was definitely clearly tripped as he slid into the boards there, and we were expecting a whistle, but we didn't get one, Tim.
So we'll face it off again, top of the right wing circle of this Baltimore end. We've played about 5 minutes and 30 seconds here this second period. Skipjack still with the lead, 1-0. The only goal of the hockey game, Tommy Rolston getting his 9th goal of the season in period number 1. From the draw at the near point, Deneen winds up, fires one. Casey with a stick save. Near corner, McClellan will fire it back to the far corner. Gatsos checked there by Young. They'll battle for it now. Finally dug out by Fitzpatrick. Now in front here is Young, side of the net. And McClellan couldn't get the stick on it. Young gets it back in the near corner, trying to keep it in, but finally Carlson grabs it, clearing it to the line, but not out. Held in by Deneen momentarily. Finally, Ralston passes up ice to Gatsos. Here's Gatsos now, down the right wing, trying to get around Smith. Gatsos now with a puck behind the net. He is rubbed into the boards by Steve Smith. Puck loose in the near corner. Ralston will try to tie it up. Now Gatsos in. Gatsos brings it out in front to Carlson. His shot, and he fanned on it. Finally, we're going to get a penalty here to the Hershey Bears. Let's see who's going to get the gate here. I believe Tom Ralston was tripped up there. And Steve Gatsos, John, in his first game since being recalled from the International League, has made his presence felt here tonight. He has an assist on the goal by Tom Ralston. Made a good play there to set up Carlson in front.
Yes, he has. He's also had a few other opportunities which created some havoc for Hershey in their end. So he's definitely a part of this game tonight.
Penalty upcoming here against the Bears. It'll be Steve Smith going off for tripping at 6:15. Skipjacks with their first power play opportunity of the hockey game. Baltimore on the season has scored 28 power play goals and 124 chances for 23% efficiency. So the Skipjacks scoring about 1 in every 4 times they have the power play.
That's much better than their opponents, which are only doing it at a 17% rate, Tim.
Skipjacks penalty killing outstanding during this season. All right, Baltimore now, top of the slot. McDonnell will drive one. It just whistled wide of the net. On the near boards, Hoffman will keep it in. On the far boards to Tukey. Tukey now, feeding it back behind the net. There is Bobby Giel. Baltimore in the power play. Near corner, Gatsos. Gatsos now holding it up. Far point to McDonnell. Top of the slot to Hoffman. Winding up and firing when Hextall kicks it out, and the rebound goes right to the Bears. Nevin Marquardt. He tried to come back 2-on-2 with Al Hill, but McDonnell tied him off the puck. And here comes Greg Hotham in his own zone. 1:20 left on the penalty to Steve Smith. Here's Hotham clearing it in. He'll chase it in deep now on the Hershey end. Here is Hextall trying to clear it up into the crowd. And that'll give us a face-off in Bears territory in the right wing circle.
Didn't see a whole lot of action on the last power play, Tim. However, this time the Skipjacks seem to have a good play running. With 1:13 left in the power play, let's see if they can score.
Now they'll bring on Dave Hannon, Arto Yavanainen, and Bob Airy, and that line has been outstanding throughout this 84-85 season. Yavanainen really coming on now. He's got 11 goals, 11 assists, 22 points in 29 games, and slowly but surely Davey Hannon is sneaking up with the Jacks scoring lead. He has 13 goals, 11 assists for 24 points in only 23 games. And when you score a point a game, you know you're doing your job in any level of play.
That's correct, Tim. I believe Arto is the only Skipjack player to appear in all 29 games this season, too.
So he's been very durable. You know, we've talked about this before, but the Europeans are not known for their aggressive play. They don't seem to like to mix it up and rough and tumble it, but Yavanainen has really held his own ground, I'll tell you. He goes in the corners, he takes checks, he can take the punishment, and of course he's been injury-free through all of that. And believe me, a lot of the players have tested Arto this season by giving him shots, taking runs at him, banging away at the corner, but he's held up very, very well.
Well, in this league, I think that's why he's been successful, because this style of play is definitely not that of the Europeans, which is more of a finesse game. I think he's adjusted very well.
All right, Davey Hannon lost the puck in his own zone as Jeff Courtnall took it away, and he backhands it back behind the Baltimore net. Still 52 seconds left on the Skipjacks power plays. Leto will pass it over to McDonnell, and he will carry the puck to center. Out the red line, he shoots it in left wing corner, off the boards. Courtnall behind his net. Spins, bounces it off the boards, and fires it all the way back into the Skipjacks end. Chance for one last rush on the power play if Baltimore can hurry. McDonnell setting things up behind his own net. Steve Smith in the penalty box for Hershey. McDonnell feeding it up to Leto. Leto now will stick handle over the line. Leto with a puck down the right side for Airy. Airy now overskated the puck. It's gathered in by Stothers, and he'll fire it at the length of the ice. That should just about do it now with only 10 seconds left on the Skipjacks power play. Now the Bears tied up in the Baltimore end. But Yavanainen will take it away from Courtnall, who's done a good job killing off this Baltimore power play. Pass ahead to Bob Airy. Airy with a puck now over the line to O'Regan. Back at the point, Smith came out of the penalty box. And now Smith will come right back. Pass on the left wing for Courtnall. He'll chase it into the Baltimore end. And McSorley getting there first, and he takes the puck away. Now look out, it's coughed up. Tim Young moving in, shot. And Casey with a glove save. Young on the rebound, fires one from a sharp angle. And Casey knocks that one down. And along the near boards, Hershey will keep it in. Near point to Deneen, winding up, fires one, but it's right on, and Casey makes the glove save, and the Jacks come quickly back. Pass up to O'Regan, and he wasn't looking for it, and he couldn't control the puck in the neutral zone. Leto will gather it in. Now to O'Regan, and outside the Hershey blue line, he'll clear it on into the Hershey end. Deneen now with the puck, out to Bergen. Bergen comes to center, 4-on-3 rush. Left wing feed for Courtnall. Goes by him, Hotham will touch it, and we're going to get an icing call here against the Bears. We'll bring that face-off back into Skipjacks Hershey territory. I beg your pardon, for the face-off. We have 10:50 to go here in the second period. Baltimore 1 and Hershey nothing. You're listening to Skipjacks Hockey on the Maryland News Network. Tim Donnelly and Sean Landetta back with you at the Baltimore Civic Center. The Bears and Jacks tie up the puck, right wing corner of the Hershey end, and we're going to get a face-off here in Bears territory.
Excuse me, Tim. Maybe Coach Frank Mathers did say something to the Hershey Bears during that first period intermission, because they've come out a lot more physical, a lot more aggressive, and this last time gave John Casey a little bit of a test with 3 quick shots.
Well, they had to do something because they were really lifeless in that first period.
Yes, they were.
All right, here's Bobby Gill with the puck, side of the Hershey net. And he couldn't grab a hold of the puck. Tookie will drop it back behind his net for DeFazio. Simonetti ties him up. Now Gill trying to steal the puck. Oh, he had DeFazio open, couldn't get on the puck. Gill behind the net. Bobby Gill now tried to stuff it out to Tookie, but that's broken up by Patterson. And here comes Joe Patterson to center. Over the line to Paul Gay. Now Gay holds it up as the Jacks blocked him off of the blue line. Puck back to the neutral zone. Patterson, right wing pass to Bergen. He'll clear it on into the Skipjacks end. Casey stopping it behind his net, setting it up for McSorley. Now look out, back behind the net, the Bears keep it in. Smith's shot deflected just above the crossbar. Near corner, Bears have the puck. Here's Todd Bergen in the slot for Patterson. He wasn't looking for it. Now at the near point, Deneen wrists one toward the net. Casey will kick it out. And a good save by John Casey. Pass ahead to McSorley now. McSorley over the line. Tried to get it down the right wing boards for Tookie, but it was stolen away by the Bears and cleared back into Skipjacks territory. 9:21 to go here in the second period. The Skipjacks with a 1-0 lead. DeFazio now with the puck at center. He will shoot it in from center ice. Hextall will glove it waist high and leave it off for Smith. Now Gill poke checks the puck. Center's one in front. Here's Leto moving in, but it was poke checked away from him, and a good play by McClellan. Now Leto gets it right back. Moving in his wrist shot. Save in front. Carlson now and a backhander. Whoa, what a save by Hextall as he grabbed that backhander with a glove and knocked it up over the Hershey cage. And now we get a stoppage of play here and a whistle, and I believe we're going to get a face-off in the Bears zone. What a stop by Ron Hextall and the backhander by Steve Carlson.
Great action in the Hershey Bear goal zone that time. I thought we were going to see a skipjack goal, but all the commotion and exciting play in front of that net prevented the goal.
Well, Carlson with a good chance. He had Hextall at his mercy on the backhand, but Hextall with an outstanding save. Carlson now facing it off, back of the point. Leto shot kicked out by Hextall. And Fitzpatrick will grab it in off the boards and getting it up on the left wing to Steve Smith. He was checked. Now look out. He gives the puck right to Tim Young. Young shot blocked by Leto. Now Young tried to center one in front for Courtnall. And Casey knocked that away, and now we're going to get a penalty here. Let's see who's going to get the gate. Well, it's going to be one of the Skipjacks.
Couldn't quite tell who he whistled that on to.
Looks like Peter Leto will get the gate. He went down to his knees and really felt that shot from Tim Young. He paid the price for blocking that one.
He sure did, Tim. That puts Hershey into their second power play of the evening once again. Leto being sent to the penalty box.
The Bears are 0 for 1 in their power play, and they'll try to tie up the game here. As Young, Courtnall, and Fitzpatrick on the power play line for Coach Frank Mathers. The Bears control the faceoff. Top of the slot. Here's Deneen, and he almost had the puck taken away by Hannon. And Hannon is able to deflect it back to the neutral zone. Bears will have to clear. Here is Court now, flipping it in left wing corner. Now Fitzpatrick shoots it behind the net. There's Young after. Here's Tim Young, crafty centerman. In the near corner, holding it up. Turning, looking, waiting. Now spins the other way. Still holding the puck. Back of the near point to Deneen. Far point to Smith. Smith now shooting it down the left wing boards, but McSorley is able to grab it. Now Smith shooting one toward the net, caught by Casey. He will hang on for the faceoff. There was Court now looking for the rebound, and Casey decided to take no chances, and he will hang on right there for the faceoff.
Tim, the Skipjack opponents have only been able to put the puck in the net 17% of the time when they had the opportunity to go one man up, and I think that's a credit to the great penalty killing play of the Baltimore Skipjacks.
The Jacks have killed off 83% of their power plays on the opponent's power play opportunities this season.
That's outstanding.
Gene Ubriaco is a coach who will stress defense. He's always had good defensive clubs, always had good goaltending too. All right, Bears on the faceoff. Young getting it back at the point. Smith winds up a flutter shot that was gloved by Casey, and he will again hang on for the faceoff.
I think it's only justice that since the coach stresses, goaltending and defense, that one, they have the finest goaltending in the league, as well as only giving up 90 goals, which is the fewest amount in the league. So there's no question that what he works at pays off on the ice.
Face off. Baltimore end. Here's Hotham. He couldn't get it out. Young with the puck now. Digs it out. Left wing circle to Fitzpatrick. Now at the far point to Smith. Far boards to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick now holding it up. Back behind the net to Young. Young now tried to stuff it in front for Fitzpatrick, but the puck never got to him. Hotham got in the way. Now it's back at the point to Smith. He winds up and fires one, and Casey gets the stick and deflects it up into the crowd.
John Casey's been very tough during this power play here. With only 50 seconds left, they haven't been able to get anything by him, Tim.
I tell you, Casey just has outstanding fundamentals. He has good basic skills, and he's really playing well right now. You know, these Bears have some players just down from the Boston Bruins. Jeff Courtnall's been with the Bruins most of this season. He's down now, along with Nevin Marquardt, who played at the end of last season with the Boston Bruins and a good part of this season. So, a couple of folks down with the Bears from Beantown. Bears now 42 seconds to go on their power play. They have the puck again in the Skipjacks end. Far slot to Stuthers. On the far boards, here's Mormina. He'll slap it away just wide of the net. Rebound to the near boards to Campbell. Campbell now drops it off back behind the net to Al Hill. Hill with a puck to Reed, top of the slot. Campbell will keep it in. Far point to Stuthers. Winding up, firing one. That's blocked in front. Here's Hannon with a puck now. They'll just bounce it off the boards and back into the Hershey end. Hershey working the puck around, but couldn't seem to get a good shot on the net. Stuthers comes back with 10 seconds left on the Hershey power play. Dropping it off to Reed. Here's Reed closing in. His shot deflects, hits the goalpost. Puck never went in. The goal judge lit the light, but the puck never went in as Giel comes back in front. There's a tip try by O'Regan. He just tipped it wide. Good feed from Bobby Giel to O'Regan coming back the other way. We're back at equal strength now as Leto back out of the penalty box. And Schmidt will feed it ahead to O'Regan over the line. Here's O'Regan with a puck. Holding it up, down the slot. There's a tip right on by Bobby Giel. That hit the goal post and bounced away. So we've got the pipe stop, 2 pucks here, end to end. Mormina coming back. His drive, that went off the side of the net. Puck deflects up into the crowd. And we'll get a face-off in the Baltimore end now. End-to-end action that time. Both teams having excellent chances.
Tim, we saw the pipe stop 2 goals that time in just a matter of 10 seconds. So as we can go some 36 minutes with only 1 goal being scored, you can see how quickly 2 goals can be scored and change the complexion of the game.
Out-of-town scoreboard tonight, National Hockey League. Montreal leads the Boston Bruins 2-1. That game in the second period. Washington leading Quebec 2-0. Also in the second period, Winnipeg 2, the New York Islanders 1 in the second period. Here's Grant Sasser now. Stick handles his way into the Hershey end, but he's poke-checked a puck off his stick, and it's back into Baltimore territory. Hotham with a pass on the right side of O'Regan. Into the zone, here's O'Regan, flipping it down the right wing board. Sasser in deep after. Sasser behind the net, checked by Smith. Now the puck taken by Bergen, feeding it up on the left side, and Patterson will bring it out. His pass knocked down at center. Look out, picked up by Paul Gay. Gay with a puck now on the Baltimore end. Clearing it to the near point. There is Dineen. He tried to feed one in front. Now look out. Puck picked up. Gay in front to Bergen. His shot and a sliding save by Casey and a beauty. Now Bergen a chance again in front. Fires one wide. Bergen another shot, and that one's wide. Smith now. Far boards to Gay. Far point to Smith. Winding up, firing one. Save the rebound. And Patterson fans on that in front. Far point Smith winds up again. That shot is wide. Near point Dineen flips it back behind the net. O'Regan after the puck now. Here comes Tommy O'Regan. Feeding it up. Finally out the center ice it goes. Oh, I'll tell you, the Jacks dodged a number of bullets there as the Bears had all kind of chances.
I think we're seeing Baltimore Skipjack hockey at its finest right here, Tim.
Skipjacks playing outstanding defense as John Casey and company holding the Bears at bay. We have 4:50 to play here in the second period. Baltimore 1, Hershey nothing. You're listening to Skipjacks hockey on the Maryland News Network. Tim Donnelly and Sean Landetta back at the Civic Center. The Skipjacks with a 1-0 lead here in the second period. We're down to 4:45 left here in the second stanza. Puck in the Hershey end, cleared to center. Loose there and Leto will give it over to Tookie. He lost it. Now Fitzpatrick comes in. Here's Fitzpatrick with a puck. At the far point, Stothers, his shot. Missed the net by 10 feet. And DeFazio tried to send it away for Tookie at center, but Simonetti intercepted that. Now DeFazio's pass over the line for Giel out of his reach. And back to center it goes. Now with the puck, Tim Young. Wielding and dealing now in his own zone, starting it out. Young to center. Stick handles over the Baltimore line. Gets around Tookie, but Tookie took the puck away finally. Back checking, and Giel comes across the line. Here is Bobby Giel over the line. Down the left side. Sending it behind the net. Tookie there. Back behind the net to DeFazio. He's checked by Simonetti. Puck deep in the Hershey end. Now Giel joins in, trying to keep that puck free. They're still tying it up. Giel after it. Simonetti. Now Giel digs it out. Here comes Giel. Tried to stuff it in front. Loose puck side of the Hershey net. And Hextall is going to finally grab it at the side of the Bears net. And we're going to get a face-off there with 3:44 left here in the second period.
Tim, this period has seemed to have gone very quickly, much more quicker than the first period. And I think that's because there's been a lot more play around the net instead of long clearing plays. As we had mentioned earlier, the Hershey Bears committed 5 or 6 offsides and icing calls early, so that has something to do with it.
All right, Hannon, Airy, and Yavanainen for the face-off in the right wing circle. Now Hill, Hannon for the draw. Puck is dropped. It'll go right behind the net to Steve Smith. Here's Smith now in his own zone. Bangs it off the boards to Mormina, but now he's checked by Hannon. Mormina able to get the puck up to Hill, and he clears it ahead to Nevin Marquardt. He's lost the puck. McDonnell will take it away and fires it right back behind the Bears' net. Bob Airy racing in quickly along the near boards. Jacks will keep it in. Here is Yavanainen. At the near point to McDonnell. He scoots in down the left wing boards. Now to Hannon. In the slot, there's a shot by Airy. The save. Rebound. Yavanainen is knocked out in front. The puck lying beneath goalie Ron Hextall. Had a big jam up in front of the Hershey net. And again, the whistle blown to face it off in Bears territory. Skipjacks with good hustle there. They were forechecking well to the Hershey end, keeping that puck in the zone.
Tim, the Jacks will be traveling for the next 3 games, visiting St. Catharines this Thursday, Rochester on Friday, and then back to St. Catharines again on Tuesday, December 26th. That'll be a 2 p.m. start.
Sean, you joined some elite company who's been able to, I've been having the pleasure with. I've had color commentary with me in the broadcast booth. Ken Singleton also did some color commentary when the Jacks saluted the Baltimore Orioles. Kenny played up in Montreal for a while, and he got a chance to see the ice game up there. Yes. And grew to like it very much.
He knows it very well, Tim.
Not to mention knows how to hit that baseball.
He can do that too.
All right, Bob Airy now with a puck, getting it ahead to Schmidt, but a hand pass called against the Skipjacks. We'll bring the face-off back into Baltimore territory. Skipjacks' next home game coming up on December the 28th. The Binghamton Waiters will be in town. They're in first place right now. We'll have a good crowd on hand here as the Jacks need to get a win over the Waiters, trying to get back and cut their lead in first place. It'll also be Colts Remembered Night. A number of the famous Baltimore Colts will be here, and we hope you will be too. That's Friday night, December the 28th. The Skipjacks and the Binghamton Waiters right here at the Civic Center. Hope you make the Jacks game a little part of your Christmas holiday. Jacks break back. Here's Arto Yavanainen across the Hershey line. Now at the point, puck kept in by McSorley, but Smith stole it away. Smith now will give it to Court now. Here's Court now. He'll wrist shot one in from just inside the blue line. Up high, and Casey able to make the stop. Now Hannon ahead to center ice with Airy and Yavanainen. Right wing pass to Yavanainen. Quick shot. Pad save by Hextall. Yavanainen takes it behind the net. Steer to the near corner. Here's Bork in deep, playing defense at the moment. Back behind the net to Airy. On the far boards, McSorley, can he hold it in? Yes, he does. And back to the near corner. Now Bork again will hustle in deep to keep it in. Skipjacks working well, holding that puck in the Hershey zone. Here's Hannon behind the net. Hannon tried to stuff it in front to Yavanainen, but right there was Mark Wart to knock it away. And finally it comes outside the line, back to center. Picked up by Bob Airy. He'll clear it into Hannon down the right side. Hannon down the front. There's a shot right on by Gatsos, and a sliding save by Hextall. He came low to the ice. All Gatsos had to do was try to lift it up, but he didn't have much room to work with. And a good sliding save there by Ron Hextall prevents the Jacks from getting goal number 2.
Tim, we're seeing some fine goaltending here tonight, both on the part of the Hershey Bears and the Skipjacks. There have been some 30 shots on goal, yet we've only seen one hit the net, and that was by the Skipjacks back in the first period.
We're down to 1:46 left here in this second period of play. 1-0 Baltimore. Face off in the right wing circle to the Hershey zone. Carlson and Bergen moving in. Puck is dropped. To the far corner it goes. Gatsos and Stuthers battling for it. And they're trying to tie it up in the far corner. They get the whistle, and they'll do so. And again, we'll get a face-off in Bears territory. We'd like to remind our listeners you're listening to Baltimore Skipjacks hockey here on the Maryland News Network. Jean Landetta joining us from the Baltimore Stars. Some color commentary tonight. Nice to have you with us, Sean.
Thank you, Tim. Glad to be here.
Bergen and Carlson for the face-off. It's deflected behind the net. Here's Carlson. He'll leave it for Ralston, but he's checked by Campbell. Couldn't get to the puck. Hotham cutting it deep at the near point to keep it in. Now it's back down the left wing boards. Ralston after it. Now Carlson has it. Here's Carlson behind the net. Centers in front to Ralston. Ralston fires one. Good save by Hextall from in close. And the puck finally deflected back to the Skipjacks blue line. Hotham now gave the puck right to Patterson. Patterson now to Paul Gay. Gay checked by Carlson. Puck in the Hershey end. Now it's Baltimore end. Now it's cleared back to the point. Stuthers couldn't hold it in. It's back into Bears territory. Hextall way out of his net. Clearing it up on the near boards for Campbell. He's just going to fire the puck back into the Baltimore zone. Now Casey comes out of his net to steer it away from a couple of on-rushing Bears. At center, Stuthers with a puck. Shoots it in down the left wing boards into the Skipjacks, and McDonnell back after it there. We're down to 40 seconds to go. Now the Bears steal. Here's Bergen with a puck. In the near corner to Patterson. Patterson hit by Carlson. It squirts behind the Baltimore net. Down on the far boards, here is Gatsos. Couldn't get it out. Now Gatsos checked by Smith, but able to come back to center. Gatsos now. Down the line, the slot to Carlson. In the slot for Ralston, but he couldn't get the shot away. Pass just out of his reach. Now Carlson tried to stuff it in front for Gatsos, but a bouncing puck couldn't be controlled by Gatsos. And finally, the Bears steer it to center. Here's Leto hustling right back in again. He'll clear it back behind the Hershey net with 9 seconds left in the period. Out of the line, but not out to Fazio. Winds up, fires one. The save made by Hextall as the buzzer sounds to end period number 2. The Skipjacks hold the Bears